Okay, we're back with more of this silly game, and I ran around for a little bit, and I figured out, or I remembered that there's that list of notes in the room that's not finished, room that's in the kitchen. I'll just go there. And oh, not that door. This door. Not this door. The other door. The kitchen door. And in here there's this room that's not finished. And there's this note on the table that gives us a bunch of notes about what we're supposed to be doing. And here it gives us the password for the tech room, which I can highlight. Huh. Anyway, yeah. We have the password for the tech room now. So we're gonna get out of here. And we're gonna go use it. And it's gonna be awesome. I also was playing around with a couple of the extra items in our inventory. If you... Let's see what happens if we shake it. It squibbles most unpleasantly like an overripe manticore egg in a jar of strawberry-flavored proto-jelly. Blurg. And we can eat it. It tastes like strawberry jam mixed with mint jelly and tamarind chutney. Yuck. You squag out a hairball. So we have a hairball now. That, I can't shake. No way. Bubble bath recipe. Crashables. Yes, it does, if you shake it. The unreadable note. Crashables, which is a pretty strange word if you think about it. It goes boink, zoop, plink, and explodes. Well, it doesn't really explode, but it looks like it might. Really, I can't tell. It quacks. That was about as useful as capitalism. It's too cool to be shaken. Let's eat that too. Ice is crunchy and cold. Brr. Okay, so now we know that item was useless. Shake. You shake the bathroom key. I'm sorry, did you expect an actual result? Alright. I think that was everything. Gerbalize. Oh, I should have seen if I could gerbalize the red goo. Oh well. Or the ice. We could go back. Oh yeah. Opens the menu to use the menu. Alright, let's see if we can gerbalize either of these things. The ice stays cool. Let's eat these things again. Get that hairball again. Not that I know if it does anything or not yet, but... Oh, that's the wrong door. Where is it? Okay. Cookies, all caps. The screen shows how much energy the individual parts of the house are currently consuming and regulates the turning on and off of various devices. Good work restarting the devices in the tech room. Would you like some information on how they function? Alright. The synthesizer allows you to create almost any solid substance given the appropriate recipe. It may require a password and is slightly dangerous to use. The decipherer can decode encrypted information if you have the correct cipher. The device with the huge screen is Bill's encrypted journal, which he kept while experimenting with encryption. As for the fourth device in the room, it is immensely complex. The level of sophistication is unique. No one knows what it does. Is he talking about the coffee maker? Not that door. Not that door. This door. This machine. Unreadable note. Decipher. Decipher. Is it still printing? Help. very simple, really. First of all, you need a text to decipher. Then you need the cipher that actually allows you to read the text. Then you simply select your text from the list, enter the cipher in the upper right corner, and let the decipherer do the rest for you. Decipherer help. I must have gotten it. Default settings. Must remember that to set the butlerware to the following settings or strange things may occur. Must also remember to rewrite this in normal English and add it to the manual. The Horaf could probably use a copy, and maybe Harold should have one too, just in case the software has to restart or Squiggle starts gnawing on the cables again. The first setting, politeness, needs to be at 35. Okay, so we're gonna wait till we're next to him to get at that. Spray out a hairball. Tee-hee-hee. Let's shake the default settings. No. Smell them? Doesn't smell, well, only a little. It's really rather pleasant. Eat them. Squiggles has eaten this response. Sorry. Good. So why do players keep doing these irrational things? Being in inventory is hard enough without all this nonsense. Alright. And this machine. I was eaten by a cat. Please input it here again. I don't know what it is. Cries and uses the default password for everything. How about cake? Alright, we must learn this password later. Let's go do the butler thing. No, get stuck in an endless loop of doors. Okay, this. Oh, I didn't look at the note. Default setting. Use. Oh wait, go yes you're welcome. Examine. 35. Emotion at 5. Be removed from the Grand Order of Butlers and be awfully offended. Besides, Poshness should be 24, and this should be at 0 to keep the software from writing satires about Victorian times on Earth. So 35, 5, and 24. I don't know why this one was up so high. Setting successfully recalibrated. Alright. We can probably go upstairs now. And see if we can get anything out of butlerware. Maybe the password for the one thingy. My personal state is currently irrelevant, except as it affects this house. Dare say the code running this window is quite terrible, so that's still the same. Try to keep it clean. Alright. Your room may now be entered at your convenience. Thank you for your assistance in this matter. Okay. A quill. Normal ink pot, probably. A pot of invisible ink, or possibly an invisible ink pot. It's hard to tell. My journal, 10th attempt or so. Oh my, this is all becoming rather confusing. One journal here, another journal there, and all of them without any proper labels, without any proper order. Should I ever attempt to write an autobiography, I shall first have to invent a device for putting these documents of my life into some semblance of order. Nevertheless, here is yet another attempt to keeping a journal. So many thoughts, it's not easy to keep them all in. Ideas for projects, worries about the world, stories I keep meaning to tell people about and then forget. All these things should go in here, maybe, and this is a big maybe. They'll even help me understand myself a little better. We will see. One issue that has been entertaining my mind recently is this issue of enjoyment. There are a lot of scholars, particularly those of the Phrygidian school, but also many more supposedly respectable individuals who seem to genuinely believe that life should not be enjoyed, and that art should be devoid of pleasure. The argument takes many shapes. Some claim frivolity and fun to be of no substance, no depth. Others claim any enjoyment of the world, any dedication to pleasure and fun, to be immoral and opposed to the will of their god or gods. Others yet celebrate enjoyment as something important and yet superficial, and there is little more depressing than their idea of fun. Urizen, finally, has managed to combine all these concepts into one, and thus rule his oppressed people, who give anything for superficial fun, and yet derive no pleasure from life, as they believe it, and to be both immoral and foolish to believe in a universe of joy. I cannot help but pity them, and yet I also fear them. Okay, spent most of today working on a new type of cat toy. Squiggles gets bored sometimes. Well, all the time. It's natural, of course. Cats get bored and as easily as they get distracted. However, since I can't have Squiggles chasing the poor mice, who have turned into mushrooms anyway, a fascinating development, and since the desert doesn't offer much in the way of opportunities for chasing and jumping and general cat-like behavior, I've decided that a new toy is in order. It will look very much like a normal ball, but it will be powered by what I refer to as bouncy magic, a barely researched aspect of magic that allows for very unpredictable behavior. Since cats delight in predictable behavior, this toy should be ideal. If it is at all successful with Squiggles, I shall make a second one and send it to Catus, along with the blueprints. I'm always happy to help make Katsuli a better place. It reminds me of a thing that I forgot to do upstairs. I'm glad to report that Squiggles loved the new toy. I'm already working on improving it and informing Neocatus about my success. In other news, Stripes has taken up reading political books. His enthusiastic personality makes for wonderful, if sometimes a little naive discussions. He is a very, very kind creature, really, so well disposed toward the world. I am more proud of him than I can possibly relate. Okay, so looks like a story. Once, a long time ago, I was in the forests of northern Belzund. It is a quiet country where one is safe from bandits and wild animals. The former do not exist, for the people share what they have, and there are but few of the latter in the lowlands. The mountains are another story, a savage and beautiful place. As I was walking by a stream, observed 2 squirrels, I came across a fallen deer. I could see no wounds on it, so it must have fallen on its own. As I approached, I saw that the deer was very old. I kneeled down and touched it. It was breathing, though it was not otherwise moving. I stood there for a long time, waiting with the deer. When I finally knew that it had died, it was almost night. Yet, strangely enough, I did not feel sad. I felt its passing. I felt it move to some other dream. I felt, and this is the really odd part, comforted, safe. I shall never forget the experience. Finished my blueprints for the Glabber Walker today. It shall be, as the mushrooms would say, most excellent. Speaking of which, I should remember to ask them about the recipe for de-chickening pills. Squiggles ate the slip of paper I had written it on, and I can't for the life of me remember how the recipe went. But I think they know. If all else fails, I will have to start this experiment from scratch. Alright, I'll make this one the last one and cut the video for now. I've been thinking of the concept of categorization. As a scientist, I am all too aware of the need for it. If we do not categorize, we cannot compare, we cannot find the links between things, and we cannot understand the laws of the universe. But there is a danger there too, especially when categorization is applied to human life and art. This is what the Adornians worship, the separation of fun and art. They believe that these things may never come together, that art cannot be fun and fun cannot be art, and yet in believing so they deny the entire history of the lands of dream. It is ironic, really. They consider themselves opponents of Urizen, and yet they are his loyal servants. They're taking away our only defense against the darkness, a keen sense of analysis combined with the joy of life and humor. Alright, so I'm gonna cut the video here, and we'll finish the rest of the notes, and then perhaps the game in the next video, if not two. So, hope you've been enjoying.